Good morning from New York. Could Trump be the chosen one or the Antichrist? Let's go crazy for a bit. Well, obviously that's insane. But let's play with the idea a little bit. They say that his getting his ear bloodied was a sign that God chose him. Well, let's flip the tortilla a little bit. Maybe God was reminding him that those that live by the sword or by hate will likely die by the sword or by hate. Yeah, yeah, that seems a little bit biblical. Yeah, so not necessarily so. kind of And as I said before, the mark of crazy is that you're more symbolic than you are real. I think Bill Maher addressed that issue recently in his own way, or in reference to MAGA, of course. More symbolic than real. And yeah, is he the Antichrist? Well, if you believe the Bible version, I mean, the Antichrist would have to have all these magical powers. And as far as I'm concerned, he doesn't seem to have any magical powers. Yeah, so, but let's go even crazier. Let's go into something I said in the last video. It's I was inspired by this song, Wade in the Water, Wade in the water. And then God's gonna trouble the waters. Just thinking about that, uh, yeah, maybe, maybe God also chose Hitler. You try not to laugh, but okay, maybe he chose Hitler because maybe he was trouble in the water. Says here's your choice, see which way you're gonna go. Guarantee you, I'm gonna win. So, God or the source of all love is the way I like to put it. Kind of be a little more accurate, I think, than just that loose term. But yeah, so yeah, let's look at that. Like I said before in the last video that I made, it's this idea, this magical idea that the water is healing, and God putting His finger in it, stirring it around. You know, He's gonna like trouble, cause some trouble in the water. Somehow or other. Maybe He puts His magical finger in there and swirls it around or something. But maybe He's troubling the water in the case of Trump, and also in the case of Hitler, where again, they had a choice. We've got a choice here again, just like they did with Hitler. And yeah, God gonna win. So, so, they did choose Hitler, you know, so that didn't, that wouldn't sit well with the source of all love. um, but it was so bad, and there was a lot of punishment for that. that seemed to affect everybody. But when that was done, now Germany is probably, again, like I said in the last video, very loving, much more caring kind of a country, seem to take care of their people. And they're not trying to annex territory and things like that. If you're getting along with people, sharing, something we're supposed to learn when we're little kids, But rich people don't like to share. So that goes back to with the Trump deal. Well, if God used Hitler to make Germany better, well, could he be using Trump to make America better? And they wouldn't have to go through the pain if they don't choose him. He's gonna just keep going and making it better, right? So, and that's that. If we accept the healing waters, then we're gonna be voting for Kamala. But yeah, if we don't, if we're gonna be a big old sinner, choose Trump. Then remember, we're just being crazy here. But if we choose Trump, we're going to suffer like heck. But those policies they have in that 2025 plan is so bad. If it wasn't for the awful pain that it'll cause us to elect that clown, it would be it's basically just an evil clown. It's just actually just a very sick man, not the Antichrist, not chosen. He's just really a sick man. But we're being crazy. Okay, let's be crazy. So that'll be a blue wave coming after that. That they won't believe, and that will shift the country further towards sanity and toward compassion and away from the greedy wealthy, the greedy rich, right? Yeah, and their party's always, for a long time now, has been mostly the Republican Party, but a little bit the Democratic Party. You know, maybe God has decided that, well, if the Republicans didn't get their act together, I'm just gonna let this Trump walk all over their party and destroy it, get it completely out of the way, and then we'll see what the Democrats go. Better get it right. But all right, that this kind of thing. I mean, I say go crazy. Well, crazy is all about punishing people, and being hateful and fear mongering and angry. That's what that's about. That's I keep going and preaching the same thing over and over. Greed is the love of symbolic need. It's greed for power or whatever, and I believe that's what Jesus was talking about when he said that money is the root of all evil. He just didn't really say that. He said the love of it is the root of all evil. Well, what is that? That's an addiction. He's talking about an addiction to money, to power, and that really does play against democracy. It leans toward an oligarchy. So that again explains why all the rich people, not all of them, they're good ones, but rich folk are piling money on Trump because he's going to give them even more. They're going to give them even more of their fix, which seems to be an increasing amount of money and power. And as we know, power corrupts. Wow. Jesus again. The love of money, the love of symbolic need. And then that can come in a lot of different forms. It doesn't you have to be power or money. It can be other things. But yeah, that. But why is the symbolic there? Why are people going after symbolic stuff in the first place? That's because of damaged faith and love, which is a test for all of us to see whether we're going to be hateful about it all or whether we're going to be healing about it, And yeah, so damaged faith and love. Well, that explains the shooter. Poor kid was bullied all the way through school. And who knows? The family had to have been not that supportive either. In a way, why wouldn't they pull him out or do something to help him? But that kind of abandonment, you cut somebody out of the love flow, what do they got to live for? You've got to quit this punishing nonsense. A lot of people want to stop the bullying by bullying the bully. It's like, no, that doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. You heal the bully. But okay, the symbolic goes into play because of damaged faith and love. But why? It's because helplessness has such an anxiety attached to it. You're in tremendous defense mode. Angry, afraid, confused. That kind of anxiety or intense negative drama. Well, person can't stand that. So the brain jumps in and gives them something symbolic, something symbolic of the circumstances and the needs buried in that experience, in that circumstance. All right. Well, integrating that hurt requires quite a bit of effort. Jesus said, unless you take up your cross and follow after me, you're not worthy of me. And I never see anybody preaching about that, So, no. You say the right words, you jump in the water, and you're okay. No matter what you do, you're okay. And other religions make fun of that. Oh, really? Well, point. That's why religion is a little bit symbolic. Yeah, and it's like an effort to change people. Just like the Old Testament agreement between God and man that Jesus said he came to fulfill. Well, I'm going to make you better, but not by scaring you to death, not by punishing you, but by loving you. But it hurts to feel that helplessness. And so Jesus says, unless you take up your cross. I believe that's what, in my mind, let me be a little crazy, okay, just a little bit. Yeah, I think that may have been something what he was thinking, or whoever wrote that was thinking, sensing in a way, that it involves a little bit of hurt to get well. Well, it does. Once the love comes in, the love flow can, once your needs have become too painful to feel, then your love flow is damaged. Your ability to give and receive love is damaged to some degree. And so it's just like if your leg fell asleep and then it starts to come back, hurts. So when you're coming back to uh, a greater faith and love, it can hurt. And that's the cross, in my opinion. So, how do you do this? Well, very gently, not pushy, not, because you don't want to overload somebody or re traumatize somebody or yourself. So, you use love from different perspectives, love and or forms of empathy and awareness. Because it hurts to be aware, and it hurts to have empathy. Empathy is an exchange of love. It's a sharing of feeling between oneself and another. It's more relationship and language oriented, whereas the awareness is just more basic. Just feeling directly the hurt of that helplessness, focusing on that need, actually, that was once too painful to feel. So when love says, hey, come on, share that. So once you begin to feel, well, that hurts, but it also feels good. It's like when the blood comes, the blood flow goes back to your leg, your whatever. It hurts a little bit, but in the end, feels a lot better. So the same here. Be comforting and caring in the approach. I hear about, people trying to treat trauma by mentioning the trauma and going down into the trauma. We're going to go to the trauma and we're going to relive it. I'm like, yeah. With love, a person naturally will relive. And, they'll be able to reflect in loving ways and on themselves and other people. And as you increase your love muscles, your sense of safety grows. And in that safety, then that's when you're able to connect and return what was the intended love flow for you. So, and that gives you your real self back. And in a way, that's a kind of rebirth. I don't know how many people are going to see this. It's hard to be seen with so many things being said. But I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. We're trying to make this not a channel about me or a channel about a particular approach. I have my own. I think it's worth study, and it's more effective now and a better route than what I'm hearing about trauma repair. You don't push the thing, because it's a survival mechanism not to feel at some point, because once upon a time it wasn't safe to feel what was happening to you. And driving people to that to make them better. I I don't agree, because their defensiveness is going to be enormous, and you're going to have to break them down and they could they could hurt them, in my opinion. You know, it needs to be very gradual, needs to be very comforting, needs to be very caring. And the pattern again that I talk about is like you have to feel what happened to you. You feel those original needs so that you can realize that there are losses today. Need to grieve those losses. So it's another process. You need to grieve those losses. And then after you're done with that, to some degree, you're able to be more forgiving for anyone involved. And after the forgiveness, which you see the love flow increasing here, and after the forgiveness is when you're able to see the more terrible thing, how the hurt in you hurt other people. Now you were a bit of a monster against the love flow, an imperfect soul, which we all are. But when you get to that point, that's remorse. Honest to goodness remorse. But the realization from that is that you're no longer the person who did that thing, who acted in that way, or who refused to care, or refused to receive care. You're no longer that person. You're more in the love flow. You are born again. So that's my message. I want it to go out to the world, and we need everybody on the team that we can get that can understand these basic things. And everybody's got their medicine, their religious medicine, I suppose, or their lack of religious medicine, which is probably another kind of medicine. Yeah, got their medicines, but the fulfillment of the law of these medicines is love. And marvel not that I say to you, you must be born again. It was Nicodemus that said, how can I do that? So I think there were a lot of things that Jesus had to say that we could figure out if we truly followed him. But all the great mystics of the world were about fulfilling law, which involves punishment. It's a way of fulfilling that, so you don't need the punishment. You don't need such strong and disincentives. You're healing people. And, most of the religions started off good, or they have a core point that points toward love. That's the good thing. And the right to have the medicine you want, believe the right to your own beliefs and so on that help you get by. In the meantime, while you're healing, fully, that is a right that should be cherished in America and around the world. So, freedom of religion. A Christian Taliban is not freedom of religion. Okay? Jesus didn't go around twisting arms and saying, hey, believe or else. He sat with the people who were gone astray, criticized for it. And he explained that the sick are the ones who need a physician. And of course I'm here. What a guy. Yeah. What a guy, huh? If, of course, he really existed. But, which, that's a matter of faith, you don't know for sure. But faith and love, that's it. You need to increase that. You need to increase the love flow. That's the core message that we're giving out here. And it goes into all our communications. We want to have more empathy and more awareness in all our communications. And that goes into politics as well. And if somebody's stirring up anger and hate, what do they plan to put over on you? Huh? What do they're manipulating you, aren't they? And they're also going in the wrong direction. It's finding some to punish. Remember the Lord's Prayer. People don't, do they? And forgive me my trespasses as I forgive those who trespass against me. This is, yeah, that's pointing in the love direction, isn't it? So that's what we need. And the freedom to approach law and to move toward love. Well, that's a different medicine for different folks. And people should have the right to their own religion. Not a Christian Taliban or a Muslim Taliban or a Buddhist Taliban or etc. It's a beautiful thing, and when I see temples and mosques and churches all peacefully situated in the same town, that's a beautiful thing. Anyway, I'm rambling a little, huh? Yeah. Well, I hope somehow there was something that was helpful to you, and if you found it so, please share the video and comment and join the team. Subscribe, comment so we know who you are. We're going to try to have discussions that angle in the direction of greater empathy and awareness in various contexts. And we need a bigger team. We need a team that involves the whole world. So this is a shout out to the whole world and not just the United States. But the United States needs to make sure that it doesn't lose its light on its hill by voting for hate and fear. Anyway, I like to give a blessing. It's an old Irish blessing. But I love it, maybe because I'm an old guy. Remember farms and family farms and yeah, the simple lives people used to be. Yeah. Well, it goes like this. May the road rise to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sunshine warm upon your face. The rain fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand, or her hand, or its hand, however you see the source of all love. And again, as Carl Sagan said, we are the universe knowing itself. So you're not just in a world full of wonder, you're part of the wonder. And everybody that you meet is part of that wonder. And that wonder needs respect. And giving that respect is done as a goodbye and hello in India. And that greeting and goodbye is namaste. So, make a great day today, or a better day. You know you can. Be reflective. Endorse empathy and awareness in our communications and join our team. Namaste, yo.